reaction during praise and grumble after 5 o'clock as well to whatever the result might be. We're underway here and the ball is hit forward and long by Swindon, looking out towards the left to Woolery, and it's headed out for a Swindon throw right in front of John Askey, who's looking on with his managerial jacket. He's got his Adidas boots on, black tracksuit bottoms, hands in pockets at the moment, just watching on. It's a cool afternoon in the Potteries as Swindon go down the touchline for another throw. This time it's with Caddis, number 41, plays a ball to the halfway line to Grant, who scoops it out to the left first time, all gathered by Doty. And Swindon just under pressure here over on that far side, and good work as well, you have to say, by David Amu to win a throw-in. And that's what John Askey will want to see nice and early, not to give this Swindon team too much respect. Get right in their faces.
Absolutely, it was nice and strong there. He was unlucky not to get the free kick, in all fairness.
A couple of scorelines from earlier on today to tell you about. Arsenal 1, Chelsea 0 half-time scoreline. Rangers beat Celtic 2-1 as Swindon clear for a Port Vale throw on this side of the field now, Lawn Street side, about 12 yards or so from the corner flag. David Worrell takes it and just gives it to a red shirt there. An odd throw, and it's an easy clearance for Swindon, and cleared out by Port Vale, and a Swindon throw about 10 yards or so inside the Swindon half on the right. Robbie Williams above us watching on, Port Vale supporter, playing here next summer for his homecoming concert. Swindon take the throw, drilled out to the opposite side of the field in front of the railway paddock, as Swindon now try and get in behind the right back Gibbons, who watches the ball but then gives it away, but clears it second time of asking, high in towards the Swindon half, and this is going to have to be headed away by Zakuani, helped along by Anthony Grant as well, and picked up by Gibbons on the halfway line on the far side. Just then tries to feed it in a tight angle to Taylor, and has given the ball away, and is now having to track back, and he's had a little support there from Luke Joyce. And then Leon Legg has gone clattering in as well on Ayandalo, and he stayed down in some discomfort, but Swindon continued to play on, and you'd have thought they'd put it out, giving it to their own player, and in the end Michael Doty does that, and it's going to allow Swindon a bit of an opportunity to get some of the medical staff on to have a look at Ayandalo, and just looking down at the technical area here, and both I think members of the coaching staff and managerial team in the Swindon dugout not happy at all with that challenge on Ayandalo from Leon Legg, and having a word with John Askey.
You know what, that was an absolutely fantastic challenge. You know, it's a 50-50. He was there to be won. He's gone full-blooded, and that's basically welcome to the game. You know, that's how we used to do it, and that's how it should be. You know, big centre half coming through, great tackle. No foul whatsoever. I'm not sure why the referee's getting involved here, but that was a good challenge to me.
Leon Legg a yellow card there, just looking around. Yeah, just getting confirmation from others around in the press box that I think Leon Legg's just got a yellow card. Not 100% sure why. Maybe the referee allowed play to continue with Swindon in possession. Was going to blow for a free kick, and now it's stopped it. He's gone back to the situation, but like we said earlier on, these games like this, particularly, I mean, at any time, but around Christmas time, when you've got a lot of supporters in a crowd that are up for it, a good thunderous challenge really sets the tone, and that's what Leon Legg was doing. Yeah,
it's unfortunate, because I think the lads is hurt a little bit there. The stretch is coming on, so that's not a good sign, which is not what we want to see. But it does set the tone. It does set the tone. If the ball's there to be won, you want your centre halves to come and win it. Once that happens, sometimes you pull the cart, everybody will follow. You know, that's the attitude we want. We're here to give you a game today, not here to just lie down and give you the points.
Well, the stretcher, as Robin van der Laan quite rightly said, is making its way across to the other side of the field, and it looks like that Ellis Ayandalo will not be playing any further part in this game. I mean, we've only been playing, well, I've got 4.5 minutes on the stopwatch, and we must have had a good 90 seconds of stoppage already, so there'll be a bit of time added on to the end of this first half. Just going to have a quick look down towards the Swindon dugout to see what change, if any, they're going to make at the moment, or whether they're just going to keep an eye on what's happening on the pitch. But I think there is a bit of activity now. down inside the technical area. A couple of scores to tell you about elsewhere. Newport County 0, Leyton Orient 1. Sheffield Wednesday 0, Cardiff City 1. Cheltenham have taken the lead away at Northampton 1-0, and Coventry City lead by a goal to 0 away at Wycombe in League One. Bristol City are 1-0 up in the Championship at home to Luton, and Grimsby lead Crawley by a goal to 0. Iandalo is now on the stretcher, and there seems to be a lot of discussion taking place over there at the moment. He's laying there with no one moving him at all.
No, exactly. You would think somebody is talking to him, or if it's something pretty serious, then the gas should come out. But yeah, he's coming off now. They've just picked him up and taken him to the side of the pitch. Maybe where is the ambulance down there in the corner?
The ambulance is that corner, yeah, to our left. Yeah. And they're opening the gates now, aren't they? So it looks like he's heading straight off to hospital. So the challenge from where we looked at it looked strong and fair, but obviously in the process of that has been a bad injury to Ellis Iandalo.
Yeah, it shows it, because there's a throw-in being taken in a minute. So no free kick given. It was a very strong 50-50 challenge. You would expect the centre halves to go for them.
So it'll be a throw-in for Port Vale, and the Railway paddock just applauding Ellis Iandalo as he leaves the field and leaves the stadium. And we're back underway here. 6.5 minutes gone of the first half, and I think we've probably only played about 3 minutes, so a fair bit of stoppage time, and rightly so, whilst Ellis Iandalo got some treatment, and he's just gone through that open corner of the stadium now between the Hamel Road end and the Railway paddock to head straight off into an ambulance to hospital. So hopefully everything is okay with him. Scott Brown has the ball in his hands at the moment. Away to our right, just barking some orders out. Clears from his gloves into the purple hazy skies around us here in Burslem as Swindon clear from the edge of their own penalty area. It bounces once, Nathan Smith heads it down, Luke Joyce brings it under control and then knocks it square out to the right to James Gibbons, and we're waiting to see the change, and it looks like it's going to be Rob Hunt that's going to come on for the injured Ellis Iandalo. So we're playing with 10 men at the moment, Swindon, but the referee is allowing the substitute to come on as the ball has gone out of play for a Port Vale throw-in level with the edge of the Swindon penalty area down the Vale right side. So Iandalo off and Rob Hunt has come on. Vale throw taken by Gibbons to Joyce. Joyce midway inside the Swindon half, just dinks a ball over the top. David Amu was never going to get onto the end of that as it runs through to Stephen Bender in the Swindon goal. He rolls it out underarm to Zakawani. Back to the goalkeeper, all in green, from his penalty spot clears, directs his clearance out to this near touchline in front of John Askey. Montano rises the highest and heads it out. 0-0 on BBC Radio Stoke as we've hit 8.5 minutes, although a fair bit of stoppage time in that 8.5 minutes due to the injury to Ellis Iandalo. Throw into Swindon on the halfway line, still yet to take it. Now it comes in back to Caddis, the fullback. Now Anthony Grant, edge of the centre circle inside the Swindon half. Out to the left to Hunt. Doherty, in comes Yates for offering a bit of support. Doesn't get it, but now does inside the centre circle. Back to Zakawani. Quite a tidy team, Swindon, aren't they? Patient in their build-up, don't seem to panic.
Yeah, they look like they want to pass the ball around, switching play as much as they can, and then try to feed their strikers into feet.
There's Doherty now with the ball out to the right. Will Woolery get on the end of this? He tries to. So does Montano. Montano does well enough to win a goal kick. Scott Brown with the thumbs up towards Christian Montano and the ball boy as he throws the ball to the penalty area. So really slow start. I guess as a player sometimes, when the game starts and you just want to get on with it, and then you have obviously a bit of a break because of the injury, it can just, you've got to press the reset button again, haven't you?
Yeah, it can be. You're just getting into the game, you want to get into your second wind, and then sometimes that get disrupted for 3 or 4 minutes. That doesn't always help.
Ball out, play for a Swindon throw on this near side again, midway inside the Swindon half. And Anthony Grant just dropped short to try and come and receive the ball. Richie Wellens, the Swindon manager, inside the technical area looking on, making sure he gets all his instructions passed out to his players on the pitch. Fouled by Montano, and it's a free kick for Swindon. About 20 yards or so inside the Vale half on this near touchline. And Swindon take it short and quick. And Caddis now in towards the penalty area, looking for Yates. Doesn't find him. Vale defend, get it away. Smith just plays a risk and plays it out from the edge of his own penalty area. Now Swindon come forward. 18 yards out, shot comes in. Joyce threw himself at it, but the shot went straight into the bycars and out for a goal kick. But Burgess has taken a knock in that. I think he'll be okay. But the Vale supporters not happy that the referee didn't blow for a free kick.
Yeah, it's quite interesting to see. They had a free kick here in the wide area, and it always gives you an indication of what kind of a team you're playing against. And they took a quick short one rather than loading the box with a big centre half. So in that respect, you maybe can get a little bit tighter and have a little bit more of a nibble at times when you're defending, if they're going to keep taking short corners and not load the box up.
Smith on the halfway line, forward to Burgess, 30 yards out, looking to feed it in for Worrell, and Swindon get it clear. Almost fell for Jake Taylor, who I thought he was just about to wind up his right boot and have a shot, but it was taken away from him. But Vale in possession on the far side, in towards the edge of the penalty area to Gibbons, on the angle of the penalty area, back to Burgess with a cross. Good delivery, that is for Pope. Pope gets up there but can't really put any power on the header, and that's an easy gather for the goalkeeper in the end, who will get it cleared. But appreciation from the supporters for that build-up.
Yeah, it was good build-up on the right with a lovely cross in. It's something that Popey will thrive on. If we can get more crosses like that in the box, you know, he will get on the end of one of them for sure.
Robin van der Laan with you on BBC Radio Stoke Sport this afternoon. Goalless after 12 minutes as Woolery keeps it in play. There was appeals from the players around him. The linesman says not, and then the ball just played in on the right to Doyle, who is a striker banging form. He's not even a Swindon player, he's on loan from Bradford, and I think that loan has got an option to be recalled back in January, and with Bradford kind of in the mix as well for promotion this season. They are third in the table, Swindon top in the table. You might just think, Robin, they might recall him just to not only strengthen them but weaken Swindon.
Yes, possibly. It depends what they've got in their dressing room at this moment in time.
Pope with the ball back to Burgess.
Oh, what a finish!
Scott Burgess from the edge of the penalty area after great football by Port Vale. Tom Pope doing what he does best, holding it up, waiting for the support, gets it from Scott Burgess, who fires a right foot shot into the goalkeeper's right hand corner, and he could do nothing about it. The league leaders are stunned. Port Vale 1, Swindon 0.
Yeah, there's the game plan for you. You know, play it into Popey with a bit of quality. He'll back in, he'll set up other players. Great little layoff and a fantastic side foot finish. Not far off the top corner, I believe.
Yeah, great strike. And well, Port Vale there strike so quickly, and they were really accurate as well with their passing into feet, moving it around. Swindon statues, and Vale score, and Scott Burgess with a terrific strike in the 13th minute to make it 1-0 to Port Vale. Good start for the Vale after a slow start because of the injury to Ellis Andalo, but well, that's got to get them up for this now, hasn't it?
Absolutely. I mean, in this system, it's vitally important that you get quality into your main striker centrally, so players can feed off him. We spoke about it earlier. It's very difficult to get into the game if your front striker, your central striker, doesn't hold the ball up, and Popey's just the right man to do that, and did that wonderfully for the first goal.
Well, Port Vale now look up for this. Swindon trying to pass the ball around on the halfway line, and the Vale players not giving them a moment's peace as they put the press on the opposition. Zakuani in possession on the edge of his own penalty area, nowhere to go as the goal scorer Scott Burgess runs and chases the ball all the way back to the goalkeeper, who has to clear out to this near touchline, and Montano again rises the highest and beats Woolery in the air, and Pope goes down. No free kick as now David Worrell chases the goalkeeper down. Now he won't give up either as the Swindon number one gets it clear and to safety and the halfway line. Here's Grant inside the centre circle, out to the right to Anderson. Anderson controls, being harassed all the way by Luke Joyce, and that will please John Askey as Swindon look for an equaliser here. They go down on the edge of the penalty area, but play continues with Caddis, who drags it back. Poor clearance by Joyce, goes back towards Scott Brown rather than out of the penalty area. Almost caused some trouble there, but Vale managed to get ahead on it through Burgess, who started this game incredibly well. Good challenge by Tom Pope. Swindon not getting a moment's peace here, and Montano forces the mistake, and David Amu was in all sorts of space on the far side. Robin van der Laan got him away.
That was a perfect opportunity to set him away on the right hand side, but he wasn't spotted, unfortunately, and they're back on the back foot.
Well, Swindon certainly know they are in a game here, as Yates brings in Doty out to the far side. 1-0 to Port Vale on BBC Radio Stoke. Swindon trying to find a way back in on the far touchline, but they're forced back to the centre circle. Anthony Grant into Bowdry, who turns. Tom Pope chases him though, he won't give him a moment. Now Caddis, he's got nowhere to go. Worrell on his shoulder, so back into his own half, and Zakuani. And at the moment, Swindon, although good in possession, they don't really know what to do against this Vale team.
No, there's a good press on. They're stopping the cross. They're getting people's faces. You know, stopping the cross is vital. If you stop the crosses, you stop the goals. It's simple as that. And here goes Popey.
Yates has given it away for Tom Pope. Tom Pope for his 7th goal of the season has just hit it straight at the goalkeeper. So you have to say, great goalkeeping from Stephen Bender. But you would also thought Tom Pope should have made that 2-0.
Yeah, it was a real great opportunity there for Popey. His first touch really got the ball in between his feet. He couldn't sort his feet out quick enough. Tried to bend it, opened up with his right foot, but an easy save in the end, unfortunately.
I thought we were just about to say, after 17 minutes, that Vale would be in dreamland with a 2-0 lead against the league leaders, and Tom Pope will be kicking himself for that. But you have to give the credit to the goalkeeper on that occasion for coming out, making himself big, and just intimidating Tom Pope to put him off to making it 2-0. But this has really been a terrific start, and the intensity that we're seeing from Port Vale at the moment in this opening 17 and a half minutes has been really, really good.
Yeah, it has been good. In particularly, you know, left back Montano he's had some very good defensive headers, because it looks like he's been targeted on that side. You know, he's playing up against a big wide striker in Woolery, but he's been dominating him in the air, so that's a bonus as well. You know, strong in the air, and he's dealing with that threat for now.
There's another player down for Swindon. I think it might be Bowdry, I think, but he's getting some treatment now, and just looking at the physio, is he looking across to the Swindon management team to say there could be another change here?
Yeah, it looks like a hamstring. You don't come back from that, and that's a typical injury people pick up over the Christmas period. Too many games.
And he's getting up, and he's not comfortable, is he, as he's getting up either, so unless
he says goodbye to the referee,
yeah,
I think.
he does.
Shook hands.
Yeah, he did, so you're right.
Yeah.
So it is the number 6, Matthew Bowdry, that's going to come off. So as much as Port Vale have started well, and now we're going to see Jordan Lydon come on for Swindon. They've made 2 changes now, forced changes to injuries in under 20 minutes. That's going to disrupt, isn't it, the tempo, the momentum of the game for Swindon.
It's going to disrupt not only the momentum, but you know, your first your starters are coming out of the team, and players that haven't prepared to start are now being thrown straight into it, and you know, it looks like Granty's gone to play centre half with the lads just come on. Jordan Lydon going and sit in front of the back four.
Well, that won't be ideal, will it? Crew 1 Scunthorpe Mill, Daniel Powell has scored in our other featured game on 15:03 medium wave, but that won't be ideal for Swindon with Anthony Grant, who is a midfielder playing at centre half. Clearly not a centre half on the bench for Swindon, but this could all play into Port Vale's hands this afternoon. So they're putting a few square pegs in round holes. Oh, Swindon and Richie Welling, so he must be a little bit anxious about the afternoon at this stage, with 20 minutes gone and Vale leading by a goal to nil. Middlesbrough 1-0 up away at West Bromwich Albion, and it's Sheffield Wednesday 1, Cardiff 2, and Vale just having to do a bit of defending here. Nathan Smith heading the ball, then clearing his own header out for a throw to prevent it from going for a corner. Much to the appreciation of the Vale supporters in front of him, behind him in the Lawn Street here. As Cadiz, the fullback, takes the throw to the edge of the penalty area to Anderson, who scored a hat-trick on Boxing Day against Cambridge. First touch for Leiden, the substitute. In midfield, as pointed out by Robin van der Laan. Anthony Grant playing in the heart of the defence. Position not familiar to him. As Swindon are forced back to their goalkeeper. Clearance from the edge of the penalty area. Out to the Swindon left. Leon Legg wins the header, it bounces down, Gibbons clears, and this one will come down with snow on it. It might even hit the roof, but it does. It hits the roof of the railway paddock over on the far side. I don't think that's going to come down. On for Steve Speed, the groundsman, to get the old cherry picker out and get on the top of that. Probably in the guttering over on the far side, and the fourth official throws on another ball for Swindon. It's Port Vale 1, Swindon 0. Scott Burgess in the 13th minute. Tom Pope had an incredible opportunity to make it 2-0 in a one-on-one, but could only fire his shot at the goalkeeper. Here's Swindon with Anderson on the far side. Picks it up after a 1-2 with Leiden. Anderson still has it, 25 yards out, thinks about shooting instead, lays it off. It's a little too strong, but it's taken well by Doty, just then cleared by Montano. Grant with a header up in the air. Leiden brings it down, 5 yards inside the Vale half. Cadiz, now to Yates, looking for Doyle, and takes a quick throw, cleared by Montano, and it bounces up in the air, and it's never a back pass, and it's gathered by Scott Brown inside his 6-yard line. Plymouth 1, Stevenage 0, and Birmingham 0, Leeds United 2. Latest score, and confirmation again of Crewe Alex 1, Scunthorpe 0, Daniel Powell with the goal for the Alex. Tom Pope with the header, flicks it on, looking for the runner Scott Burgess. He's a little bit behind there as it runs through to Bender in the Swindon goal, and Swindon will get this clear. But I think John Askey can't be too unhappy at the moment, Robin van der Laan, with
no, he's going to be pretty pleased how they've started. You know, they've created the goal and the best chance of the match as well. You can see what's happening now with the big centre half going off. You see Popey's pulling off on Granty all the time. You know, he knows that he's got the beating in the air. If they can get the ball up to Popey with a bit of quality, I don't think Granty can handle him in that scenario.
Yeah, that's certainly going to be a weakness for Swindon, isn't it? And Tom Pope, as you quite rightly say, will make the most of that as he possibly can, as Port Vale have got the ball back. With the goal scorer Burgess, who from the halfway line finds Scott Brown, his goalkeeper, whose clearance sort of spins high up in the air. It'll land down the halfway line. Headed forward though by Swindon to the chest of James Gibbons. Now Luke Joyce back to Leon Legg, who delivers a high ball down the centre for David Worrell. He's out-jumped by Anthony Grant. That's probably more of a fair aerial battle, the two of them similar size, but I think if Tom Pope gets around those sort of areas, I think Anthony Grant's going to have his work cut out, like we're going to see here. Ball just a little bit over the top of Tom Pope on that occasion, so that works in favour for Anthony Grant, and Swindon play it along the edge of their own penalty area, eventually cleared by the goalkeeper, but not a good clearance, didn't connect well with it at all, stuffs it, and then the full boy falls over on the far side. Diving effort he made to try and catch that ball.
Yeah. I think the service into Popey has got to be a little bit more floated in, so he can get really under that ball and start working his muscle into Granty down there. So the service has got to be a little bit varied.
Yeah, he's stood on him now, isn't he? Certainly, as you say, he's identified that's where he's going to get most of his joy this afternoon, if he can get the quality into the box. And Vale and Tom Pope could have a good afternoon here. Gibbons does well, skips past one, but not a second. As Swindon clear up to the halfway line, then it's picked up by Yates, and he fizzes the ball out to the left to Woolery. Woolery, will he keep it in? He does. He's got two down the middle in front of him, if he can find the cross. One of them's Doyle, he dives, gets a connection with his head on the edge of the 6-yard box, but can't guide it towards goal, and it's out for a Port Vale goal kick. Bobby Reed's just scored for Fulham, so Stoke trailing at Craven Cottage by a goal to nil. Fulham 1, Stoke City 0. And perhaps the first real chance for Fulham, half chance you have to say.
Yeah, it was
Swindon here.
It was a good ball in. The problem you got now with Leg being booked, that if he find himself in wide areas one-on-one, he's got to be very, very cautious with his challenges. And it was a good cross come in, and Doyle just got across his man and got a decent enough header in. Couldn't get it on target.
Gibbons with a good header inside the centre circle. That's the voice of Robin van der Laan on BBC Radio Stoke. 25 minutes gone in this game, and it is 1-0 to Port Vale. Scott Burgess in the 13th minute with a cracking drive from the edge of the penalty area, but here comes Swindon looking for an equaliser. Woolery with a shot, saved down to the right by Scott Brown. Bit of a daisy cut of that one, but he had to be alert through a crowded penalty area, did the goalkeeper, just to keep his eye on that one. Yeah,
it was a good turn, decent strike, but very good save, and got hold of it as well. Sometimes you get to spill them, and strikers will follow him with tap-ins, but good handling from the goalkeeper.
Vale with a high ball down the centre. This is for Tom Pope, and there is the threat from him. He holds it up, shields it away from Anthony Grant, then plays it out to the left to Worrell, who puts the cross in. It's cleared by Swindon on this occasion though. And here's Caddis finding Lydon, one of the substitutes. 2 substitutes in the first half for Swindon, so a bit of disruption to this game, but nothing that Vale aren't too concerned about, because they lead by a goal to nil on BBC Radio Stoke Sport. John Askey, the happier of the two managers, just pacing along the edge of his technical area, encouraging his team to push up the field as they've got this throw on the far side. A move drifts in towards the centre circle, back to Smith. Smith touch a little loose, and it allows Doyle to come and put a bit of pressure on him, but Swindon now having to do a bit of defending of their own as Anthony Grant hooks it out of play for a Port Vale throw 10 yards from the corner flag in front of the Lawn Street. Vale 1-0 up here and looking to try and make it 2-0 up from this attack. Certainly been the better of the two sides. Tom Pope, as I said, will be kicking himself for not making it 2-0. Vale would have been comfortable, you'd have to say. Montano skips past 1 or 2 challenges, drills in a cross. It's cleared by Zakuani in the first corner of the match, and it goes to Port Vale. What can they do here? We'll watch this one as David Worrell goes to collect the ball. Scott Burgess comes across to drop short, offering the alternative if he wants to play a short corner, but I don't think he's going to. It brings 2 Swindon players with him. The arm goes up from Worrell, and then Burgess starts to peel away as Worrell delivers a right-footed in-swinger right underneath the crossbar, headed away by Swindon. It falls to Burgess for his second, through a crowded penalty area. I thought that was going towards goal, but there were enough bodies on the line to deal with it. It's cleared up towards the halfway line, but what a view we had behind that one, Robin van der Laan. The way that Scott Burgess struck that, we thought it was going to be 2-0 in his second.
Yeah, they were asleep in the box. They let the ball bounce, didn't get to the ball, the Swindon defenders, and he just nipped in front with a great little touch, and he smashed it in. But there were too many bodies on the line to clear it up the line.
And Swindon in possession on the halfway line. Back to Zakuani, midway inside the Swindon half. Now here's Michael Doherty. Swindon play a ball high up towards the Vale right, and Leon Legg has to go across and head it into touch for a Swindon throw, almost level with the edge of the penalty area. And Swindon will be looking to try and find an equalising goal if they can. Break, they trail by a goal to nil. Vale will be looking to extend their lead, and they should have done through Tom Pope. 1-0 it is though. Birmingham 1, Leeds 2, Huddersfield 1, Blackburn Rovers 1. Swindon in possession and looking to try and get in behind the Vale right side. Force back though towards the halfway line. Swindon trying to be patient in their build-up. James Gibbons beaten as he lunges in. Cross comes in from the left, and that one has gone sailing out of play for a goal kick. And Scott Brown will take his time to clear his line here. Or is he going to play it quickly to Nathan Smith? No, he's that option, that route to Smith has been cancelled out by Owen Doyle, so Scott Brown puts the ball in a central position in a 6-yard line and will clear long. He's urging his team to move up the field. And this I think might just be overhit from Scott Brown. It is, and it's caught inside the Swindon technical area, and it's a Swindon throw. A little unlike Scott Brown, that one. We'll let him off. He's usually more consistent and reliable than that. And Swindon play the ball straight out for a throw-in. 10 yards inside the Vale half, and Christian Montano will go to gather from the ball boy and take this throw.
Yeah, Popey, you can see Popey not happy when he kicked it straight out of play. He said go and feed the bear, basically. Feed the bear up front. Yeah, he's got to have that ball in the air, in around the chest, to bring other players into the game.
That's when they'll get the best out of him today. Lincoln 1, Ipswich 1, equalising goal for Ipswich in League One, as Montano has the ball in his hands again on the halfway line, looking to find a teammate from this throw. He's going to go long down the line towards Pope, who flicks it on, but then David Wall just drops short, and Anthony Grant might just try and shield and shepherd this one out of play for a goal kick, and he does so successfully. And Swindon will clear from their own 6-yard line. But John Askey stood again, hands in pockets, looking on. Will be pleased, no doubt about that, after half an hour of the game gone. His side lead by a goal to nil. As Swindon now find a little bit of room on their left, and now have got some space to run into. Burgess sprinting to help back in a defensive point of view here, as Lydon has it for Swindon. Central position inside the Vale half. That move breaks down because Vale get bodies behind the ball. Plenty of them, in fact, all bar Tom Pope behind this Swindon attack. But nice movement from Swindon on the edge of the penalty area, looking to try and get a shot away. It's Hunt, the substitute, out to the left touchline. As Swindon look to try and get a shot towards goal, it's blocked. It was a shot from Woolery, who drifted over to the left. Now it's picked up by Anderson, cleared by Legg up towards the halfway line, and Anthony Grant will let this one bounce and then bring Zakuani into play, who's got a bit of space here as Tom Pope charges and closes down. Lydon, edge of the centre circle, he's closed down by Taylor. Caddis, midway inside the Vale half, drives the ball in towards the edge of the Vale penalty area, just behind Yates, and cleared by Port Vale. But we're starting to see one or two tasty challenges going in now, and then Swindon starting to settle into the game a little bit after the two substitutions as well. Woolery on the far side will look to try and get past Gibbons. Moves come to support, still with Woolery, puts in a cross, it's deflected up in the air. Joyce heads it away, brought down on the chest by Burgess, and then cleared high into the Pottery skyline, and it drops down for Pope, but Zakuani comes in front of him just to head it away. Caddis stretching, Caddis gets the ball down this near touchline, looking for Doyle, and Montano doing ever so well, holding his ground in a physical battle with Owen Doyle. And Christian Montano, who's a left winger, let's not forget, playing at left back, a makeshift left back, certainly started this game very well.
He has done very well, yes, not just in the air, showed some good strength there, just nipped in front, also got a good cross in earlier that resulted into a corner, so he started the game really well.
Montano will take this free kick himself. MK Dons 1, Portsmouth 0, QPR 1, Hull City 1. Bolton have taken the lead at home to Shrewsbury Town as well. So Montano to take this free kick just inside the Vale half, right in front of the Port Vale dugout. And Montano still waiting to deliver it. There's a hush falls around the ground. Plenty of Swindon fans come up from Swindon, should I say, for this one, to watch the league leaders, but they are trailing to Port Vale by a goal to nil. Scott Burgess in the 13th minute with a terrific strike from the edge of the penalty area, goalkeeper having absolutely no chance. Free kick delivered by Montano, cleared by Swindon out to the far side, and it will be a throw in now for Gibbons. Gibbons takes it, finds Burgess, who just drops short for him, midway inside the Swindon half. Now Gibbons with a high ball into the box, that one over the head of Tom Pope, but calmly defended by Paul Caddis, who just chests it down to his goalkeeper. And Stephen Bender will get this one clear. He doesn't, instead he rolls it out back to Zakuani. Not quite sure what the point of that one was, but now they do go long, and it's given away to Gibbons. Gibbons controls, heads down, starts to run, but then shows too much of the ball to Anderson, who takes it away from him, and it allows Swindon to come on the attack with Woolery on the edge of the penalty area, trying to get it onto his right foot, cuts it down to his left, then goes down in the penalty area. It's clear, but the referee is blown for a free kick in the way of Port Vale, and that Swindon attack amounts to nothing. But James Gibbons, just for a moment there, just causing his own problems.
Yeah, he's done that a couple of times, a bit of heavy touch, and got himself into a bit of trouble there, which he's got to be really careful with. First touch was absolutely great, you know, from the big 50-yard diagonal, you know, first touch, instant control, and then his second touch just ran away from him.
Oldham 0, Salford City 3. The latest score from League 2. Here it's 1-0 to Port Vale on BBC Radio Stoke. Matt Sandoz and Robin van der Laan. There's a real hashed clearance by Cadiz, and it took Zakuani with a diving header just to nod it back to the goalkeeper for safety. But yeah, not sort of something you see every day, that.
No, I'd like to see the opposite winger to come in a little bit narrow when that ball goes up to Popey, and just have a little gamble in behind Popey, because he was still out there about 30-40 yards away, waiting on the wing. He should probably come a little bit narrower.
Montano there again, intercepts, doesn't allow the ball to come to him. He gets in there first and gets it clear, and you can hear the support that the home crowd are giving Christian Montano, who are fully aware of the start that he's made to this game. 35 minutes gone, 10 to go, plus stoppage at time as well, which there will be quite a few minutes of that. We've had 2 injuries, one serious one it seems for LSA and Darlow, who was carried off on a stretcher and headed straight off to the ambulance and to hospital. So will be time added on at the end of this first half, as David Worrell collects a sloppy pass from the back from the goalkeeper on the halfway line, and Jake Taylor brings in David Amu, who's got 3 around him, so releases it for Gibbons, who plays the ball along the touchline to Burgess, who finds Taylor. Taylor now forward, cut out by Swindon. Notice today that Jake Taylor is wearing white boots. Now he usually wears orange boots, the same as Scott Burgess, which makes them almost identical out on the pitch, but nice to see him wearing a different colour. It makes my life a lot easier. Free kick for Swindon on the far side, taken short. 1-0 to Port Vale on BBC Radio Stoke. Ball back to the goalkeeper for Swindon, who takes a touch. The lone shout of "Come on Vale" from the Lawn Street. I don't think that was Robbie Williams. Wasn't as tuneful as perhaps Robbie Williams would shout. As Leon Legg, with a defensive header away, does well as well. Tricky one to deal with that, just bouncing in front of him, and really has to crane his neck and sort of whip the ball forward, and he did so successfully. And then Vale clear it. I'm not quite sure what the linesman spotted here, but has he spotted a throw-in or a free kick?
No, free kick. Strong play by Amu there, holding the play up. He's not looking at the game at the moment.
No, free kick taken quickly, and an unorthodox clearance by Zakuani. And Swindon get it up towards the halfway line, shielded by Doyle, back watched by Legg all the way, and then Swindon switch the ball out to the Vale left, and now can Montano do some good defending again that he has been doing. He's up against Yates. Yates twisting, turning, step overs. Montano watching him all the way. Cadiz back to Yates now. He's got him behind here, puts in the cross. It's over everybody, although there is a jump late on from Woolery. He just can't quite direct his header towards goal, and it's out for a goal kick. But better play by Swindon. They just sort of outnumbered Montano momentarily, but the attack amounts to nothing. And it's a Vale goal kick, and Vale still lead by 1-0, Robin van der Laan. Yeah,
that was probably their best bit of play here on the right. Little 1-2, ended up with a 2v2, but they got him behind and got a decent enough crossing. Just couldn't get the clear header on.
Scott Brown with a clearance over the halfway line. Anthony Grant and Tom Boat grappling one another, and almost forcing Anthony Grant into undercooking a back pass, but Swindon get it away. And Zakuani has to get it clear to the far side, only as far as David Amu though. Now what can David Amu do here? He's got 2 red shirts in front of him. He's skipped past one. Zakuani then puts in the cross. Grant gets it clear. Tom Pope was lurking. And Montano heads the ball up in the air, but can't quite direct it back forward towards the edge of the penalty area. But then given away by Doyle, picked up by Taylor. Burgess out to the left to Worrell now. Worrell with a touch. He's got Cadiz in front of him. Now Yates comes to join in the defence as the cross comes in from Worrell, and as it drifted out, it has. The flag up on the far side indicates a goal kick, but the Vale crowd certainly appreciate that bit of play, and that's what they've got to do more of, haven't they? They've got to try and get that ball into that penalty area.
Yeah, and it was good to see. It was a couple of waves of attacks. You know, when the ball comes back out, can you win that second ball and keep the attack going, which was much better.
Get that ball into the penalty area for Tom Pope, get those crosses in, really feed off him, because of the Anthony Grant playing as that makeshift centre half. Crewe gone 2-0 up. Green with the goal. Crewe 2, Scunthorpe 0. Swindon in possession as the sun starts to set behind the railway paddock opposite us. A nice orange glow on that far side of the field as Swindon now getting towards the penalty, but James Gibbons watches that one very well indeed and almost gave it away. He runs himself into trouble. He does all the hard work and then makes life very difficult for himself, but he's got away with it because here's Scott Burgess now on the right, Tom Pope down the centre, Burgess with a crossfield ball out to the left to Worrell, who makes a good first touch. Caddis in front of him, puts in the ball in towards the penalty area, headed away by Grant. It'll drop down for Lydon. Worrell's right there. Lydon takes a risk inside his own 18-yard box, but Swindon managed to play it out of trouble as the visitors have the ball just outside the centre circle inside their own half. Chance of Vale ring out around Vale Park as Anderson now has it. Drops into his own half, back to Zakuani. Very funny atmosphere here this afternoon. Swindon play like at a pedestrian pace, top of the table, but don't seem to be hurried at all. As the Swindon goalkeeper clears from the edge of his own penalty area. Leon Legger, a rock at the heart of the Vale defence with a good header away, picked up though by Swindon once more. David Amu doing some defending, good challenge as well, sliding challenge, gets the ball clear, fires it up towards Tom Pope, who heads it down, and it's found David Worrell in some space. Now Scott Burgess makes a run down the centre, Pope's there as well, 3 back for Swindon as Worrell looks to try and get the cross in. Plenty of bodies now back inside the penalty area for the visitors as Joyce now has the ball on the halfway line. Back into the Vale half to Smith. Nice 1-2 between him and Joyce. Now Legg in space. Crowd appreciate that one. Legg on the halfway line. Fires it forward into Tom Pope, who controls. Now, was he going to turn and spin and shoot? No, he passes and lays it off, and it's intercepted by Swindon. And the visitors have it now over on the far side as we've got 3.5 minutes to go plus time added on of this first half. Vale leading by a goal to 0. Clearance by Swindon, picked up by Gibbons. Here's Joyce on the edge of the centre circle, looks up, tries to deliver a diagonal ball out to the left, but Caddis is there to head it down to the goalkeeper Bender, and he will gather this one up and get things moving for Swindon yet again. But at the moment I think John Askey is he starts perhaps to think a little bit about what he's going to be saying at half-time to his players. He's got to be pretty pleased with what he's seen.
Pleased. That was decent 2-3 minutes from the Vale. Popey probably disappointed now that he didn't pull the trigger. Edge of the box, great first touch, comes inside, he should have pulled the trigger.
I thought he was going to as well, Robin, as Swindon come forward here. Doty on the edge of the penalty area into Anderson stretching, can't get there, so Gibbons just prods it forward, and David Amu picks it up. He's got the run of Gibbons now out on the right, just a little bit to the side of Gibbons, so he's had to correct his run. He was in full flow, so that passage of attack just slowed and halted. So it's now in the Vale half with Joyce, now Smith urging for Burgess to just come closer to him. Plays in Montano on this near touchline, now goes long to Burgess, but it's cleared and cleaned up at the back by Swindon. Anthony Grant has it in between touchline and penalty area on the Swindon right. Doesn't go long, instead goes square to Zakuani on the edge of the D. Swindon knocking the ball around again deep inside their own half, and Port Vale will be more than happy for them to do this as Vale lead by a goal to 0 here on BBC Radio Stoke. Stoke trailing at Fulham by a goal to 0. Crew 2-0 up at home to Scunthorpe on 15:03 medium wave. Caddis with the ball long, and that will bounce through for a goal kick, you'd think, as Smith shields it. He's fouled in the process, and it's a free kick just on the byline for Scott Brown to take this. Grimsby 1, Crawley 1, latest score from League 2, and Scott Brown just confirming where he wants his free kick to be taken from. Wasn't quite there, it was right on the touchline, right on the byline. So it looks like at the moment, with less than 60 seconds to go of normal time, we'll wait to see what the fourth official adds for additional time. Vale should be going into the dressing room leading by a goal to 0 against the League 2 leaders Swindon. And you have to say, alright, Swindon knocked the ball around quite effectively at times inside their own half, but Vale's game plan has been terrific. Yeah,
so they're neat and tidy. They play from the back, they play through the lines, but really haven't really troubled the goalkeeper, so not really clear chances on goal as yet.
Here comes Swindon now, a bit of defending to do again on the Vale right. Luke Joyce helps out James Gibbons on this occasion because James Gibbons was in a more advanced position, so Swindon take the throw quickly, looking to try and catch Vale cold. Woolery has it, back to the halfway line. Now Anthony Grant inside the centre circle as the 45 minutes are up. 6 minutes of time added on is what the fourth official says, and Swindon here with a chance for an equaliser. Shot coming in from Woolery. Well, not a good clean connection at all, and Port Vale get it clear. So we're into 6 minutes of time added on, and Doherty switches it back inside to the centre circle to Anthony Grant, to Anderson, to Grant, back out to the Swindon left. Cross comes in towards the edge of the penalty area, but it's cut out though by Yates, who looks to pull the trigger. He does, and that one's high and into the bycar stand and out for a goal kick. So Vale defending their lines again robustly. Swindon reduced to long range shooting, and Scott Brown will quite happily watch those sail over his crossbar and wide all day long. Just to bring you up to speed with the scorelines in League 2 elsewhere at the moment: Bradford 1, Mansfield 0, Cambridge 0, Morecambe 0, Colchester 1, Exeter 1, Crewe 2, Scunthorpe 0, Forest Green Rovers 0, Macclesfield 0. Macclesfield, the visitors here on New Year's Day. Grimsby 1, Crawley 1, Newport 0, Leyton Orient 1, Northampton 1, Cheltenham Town 1, Oldham 0, Salford 3, Plymouth 1, Stevenage 0. David Worrell has it on the halfway line here and wins. Probably want to throw in, but it's gone the way of Swindon, which they've taken quickly. But Christian Montano wins the ball back quickly, finds Burgess the goal scorer. Walsall 0, Carlisle 0, and it's Port Vale 1, Swindon 0, as you're hearing on BBC Radio Stoke this afternoon. So we played a minute and a half of the 6 that have been added on for stoppage time. Montano with a header away, picked up by the red shirt to Swindon right on the centre spot, and lofted out to the right. Too much on it for Yates, and goes out for a throw in, and there'll be no rush here, I don't think. Port Vale to take this throw. The ball boy throws it back to Montano, who has the ball in his hands at the moment.
A little bit scrappy at the moment, isn't it, Matches? Got to try and get this ball down and feed our strikers and wide players to get some forward play going. There's quite a bit to go still to half time, so going to get another attack going.
Yep, 4 minutes exactly to go until half time. Robin van der Laan with you on BBC Radio Stoke Sport this afternoon. Over 170 appearances for Port Vale, 24 goals. In 91 to 95 he was here, gracing the pitch, now holding the microphone, gracing the commentary box as we watch Vale lead by a goal to 0 as Nathan Smith goes down inside his own penalty area. He looks across to the linesman, the flag stays down for no free kick on him as Swindon patiently try and find a way through. Anthony Grant being trapped back by Tom Pope. Grant tries to curl a left foot shot towards goal. It was rather tame and it was more catching practice for Scott Brown, but certainly a warning sign, like you've just been saying, Robin, that there's still plenty of time in this first half, and they've got to stay switched on here. Yeah, it's very important to keep that clean sheet at half time, so John can go and have a chat with the boys and get things sorted out for the second half. Tom Pope battling and using his arm, says the referee there on the edge of the penalty area, unfairly, so it's a free kick for handball in the way of Swindon, which they take quickly. We'll have all the half-time scores for you with Lee Blakeman as we head back to Craven Cottage. Second half commentary to come here on BBC Radio Stoke, of course, on DAB Digital Radio. All headed in field by Woolery over on the far side, and it's kept in play as well by Swindon. Here's Lydon inside the centre circle, back to Zakuani. Doherty, who sees a lot of this ball but trying to orchestrate things and get things moving through the pitch. Now here's an opportunity because the right back Gibbons is out of position here, and Woolery has kept it in play in towards the penalty area. Chance here for Swindon for one apiece, but Lydon unable to pull the trigger, and you have to say David Amu and James Gibbons good defending there, swarming around the Swindon player when he was inside the 18-yard box to prevent him from getting the shot away. But again, it was a bit too easy down that Vale right, wasn't it? They're looking a little bit stretched at the moment, maybe a bit tired legs at the end of the first half. Got to keep this clean sheet going. Oh, there nice little layoff, and now it's opened up a chance here for Anderson, who shoots, and it's forced a fine save from Scott Brown. You'd have put your money on Anderson there to have made it one apiece, but Scott Brown getting the right arm out and pushing it behind for a corner, and there's going to be a yellow card shown here as well to James Gibbons for something that perhaps happened off the ball in that Swindon attack. But Well, Vale have got Scott Brown to thank there for it not one apiece going into the break.
Absolutely, we just mentioned they're looking a little bit stretched, and they just went straight through it like hot knife through butter.
Yeah, absolutely. Kessie Anderson, 6 goals this season, a hat-trick on Boxing Day. You'd have thought with his goal-scoring form he'd have put that one in, and well, Scott Brown stopped it from going beyond him for a corner instead. So they've got to switch on here, Vale. 1 minute to go, time added on. A header at the back post by Zakiwani, can't direct it down, it goes out for a goal kick. So less than 60 to go, Vale lead by a goal to nil on BBC Radio Stoke.
Yeah, that should hopefully see it out till half time. Got some things to sort out the last 5, 6, 7 minutes. They've been on the back foot, not been tracking runners, and there's been gaps appearing in between that in that back four. Some gaps appearing, so we've got to sort that out. Yeah,
the little worry will be that Swindon will take a little bit of encouragement from the last sort of 5 or 6 minutes of this game, at the way they've had a couple of chances in getting in behind the Vale defence. So John Askey's certainly going to have to make sure that his players are all well drilled for the second half, as Anderson clips the ball high out to the Swindon left to Woolery again. Gibbons with him for company. Woolery holds it up, brings in Hunt. Hunt looks up, doesn't whip in the cross. 10 seconds to go of the time added on. Grant sidesteps his man and Smith drives it clear. Comes back off Grant. Montano this time makes no mistake of the clearance and gets it up towards the halfway line. And there is the whistle for the half-time. Thought we were going to blow for a free kick, but no confirmation as the players leave the field. Half-time here then, and the supporters get to their feet and applaud the team for their first half efforts. You can hear the chants, the crowd will tell you how pleased they are, because Vale lead the league leaders Swindon by a goal to nil. Good first half overall, Robin. Referee looks at his watch. Scott Burgess, who scored in the 13th minute, his goal separating the two sides here, will take the kick-off for the second half, and away we go. Burgess back to Joyce, and Joyce with a high ball out to the left, headed forward by Swindon, taken on the chest by Taylor, who just loops the ball forward for Worrell. Worrell heads it back to Pope, who's on the far touchline. Montano now, no real route through forward for him, so holds onto the ball, then plays it, and it's cut out, and now Swindon have just got in a little bit behind here again. Ball in towards the centre circle, then a scuffed pass out to the left is picked up by David Amu, then plays and nutmegs to Gibbons, and Gibbons now racing forward, still with Gibbons, he's still going on the edge of the penalty area, shoots, and that goes wide. And I think he was getting a little carried away with himself. I don't think he could quite believe how much space he had going in towards the edge of the penalty area, and well, fluffed his lines at the last minute.
Yeah, he nearly overran the ball again. I think he was a little bit like a rabbit in the headlights there. He didn't really know what to do, and in the end he snatched at a shot, and composure was not quite there.
He was confusing me with to what he was going to do. I was thinking, he's going to shoot, is he going to pass, is he going to shoot, he's going to pass, and in the end he didn't really do, well, he shot, but it might as well have been a pass. Wasn't a great connection from the right back as he gathers the ball from the Swindon technical area for a throw in now on the Vale right. Long throw down the line, looking for Tom Pope, headed up in the air by Woolery though. and it drops down for Amu. Amu back to goal, I thought he was being pulled down there by Zakuani, but he goes down a little bit too easy, David Amu, and Zakuani applauds the linesman on this side for not falling for any of the theatrics as it goes out for a throw-in to Swindon, a couple of yards from the corner flag, right in front of us here on BBC Radio Stoke. Amu heads the ball in field from the throw, cleared though by Swindon, headed forward once more by Smith. Amu takes it on the chest, but shows a little bit too much of the ball to Woolery, who twists and turns away from 3 black and white shirts and finds the referee, and the referee blows his whistle under these new rules of interfering with play that he's now, what's he done? Is he blown for what? Can't quite work out what he's blown for. Holding?
No, he's interrupted the play because they hit the referee, and then it gets brought back. So,
well, I thought that, but then he did the sort of indication sign that someone was holding on, but I don't know what. But maybe that's a sign for a drop ball.
We learn something every day.
We do. Football always surprises me. Drop ball anyway. Swindon have possession inside their own half, and it's played out to Doherty on this near side, who has got Burgess with him for company, so can't really go forward. Back to Zakuani. Just 3 minutes of the second half gone on BBC Radio Stoke. Salford are filling their boots at Oldham. Oldham 0, Salford 4. Bolton 1, Shrewsbury 1, and Coventry enjoying themselves as well away at High-Flying Wycombe in League 1. Wycombe 1, Coventry City 4. And Carlisle have taken lead away at Walsall. Walsall 0, Carlisle United 1. Swindon have a throw right in front of John Askey and Dave Kevin. Flicked on. Gibbons comes forward, finds Burgess, who loses possession. Ball breaks Doherty, who plays it forward first time. Montano with a loose touch and almost allowed Yates in. It's cleared by the Vale, only as far as Woolery inside the penalty area. Gets towards the byline, puts in the cross, blocked by Gibbons, and it's out for a Swindon corner, their first corner of the second half, their second corner of the match. Vale really do have to stay switched on. Swindon will have seen 1 or 2 weaknesses perhaps towards the end of the first half. Hanging in the balance at the moment, this game 1-0 to Port Vale on BBC Radio Stoke. Anderson with a deep cross from the Swindon left, goes curling straight out for a goal kick, and as you can imagine, no rush to go and collect the ball and take this goal kick. 1-0 to Port Vale, but there are going to be plenty of chances in this second half, Robin van der Laan.
Yeah, you would think so. It's still quite open, the game. But for Port Vale, they want a tighter game. They don't want this game to be too open. They're obviously a very good outfit, this Swindon team, and they're looking to pass this ball around.
High ball from Scott Brown, flicked on by Tom Pope. Zakuani clears, and as far as Taylor on the far side. Jake Taylor, perhaps one of the quietest games I've seen Jake Taylor. I know he was injured for the Mansfield draw. Back in the side today for Will Atkinson. Scott Burgess has been terrific, I think, very energetic and busy in midfield. Jake Taylor just not really getting into the game as much as he has done in previous weeks. Swindon have a throw in level with the edge of their own penalty area. And Montano trying to win the ball, goes down, throwing his arms in the air, almost comically. As the ball played forward again by Port Vale, cleared by Swindon. Burgess putting a bit of pressure on Doherty, whose clearance goes straight out of play for a Vale throw on the far side. Vale attacking the goal to our right, going from left to right, then towards the bycars in this second half. Vale fans finding their voice as Montano takes the throw. Pope battling in the air with Grant, runs through though to the Swindon goalkeeper, who moves to the left of his penalty area and rolls the ball out of his 18-yard box. Looks up, chips the ball out to the left to this near touchline. It's not kept in, is it, by Anderson? Oh, it is. It's Woolery, in fact, that's kept it in. Linesman's flag stays down. But nonetheless, Luke Joyce has the ball, finds Taylor, who's dispossessed. Worrell has it, appeals for offside, but the Swindon back line were a bit raggedy as Worrell wins a throw over on the far side. 1-0 to Port Vale. Cambridge 1, Morecambe 0. And Montano waiting to take this throw. As you can imagine, all these sort of moments, a bit of game management will come into play here, and I'm sure that's what John Askey would have been saying. Just take the sting out of the game when you can, but maybe put the sting in when you can as well, because here's Taylor on the edge of the penalty area. Jake Taylor with a terrific strike on the edge of the penalty area. He's been quiet all game, but when you need him to come alive, he does so. 18 yards out, curls one into the goalkeeper's left-hand post, and it is Port Vale that lead against the league leaders now by 2 goals to 0. Port Vale 2, Swindon 0.
Yeah, worked the ball really well from the left, from the throw-in, cutting inside, and played him just outside the box. Good first touch and bend it right into the top corner. It was a fantastic goal.
Really good finish for his 7th goal of the season. Jake Taylor now outright leading goal scorer for Port Vale, and well, that is a terrific finish. He certainly knows where the back of the net is. He's been scoring goals, as I say, 7 now for the season for him. Back in the team today. And a terrific finish from the edge of the penalty area. Goalkeeper absolutely no chance, and Vale comfortable at the moment. Still plenty of time to go in this game. 2-0 up they were against Mansfield on Boxing Day. Ended up drawing 2-2.
I wouldn't mention that.
I'm not going to mention it, but I have done. But it's just certainly a word of caution to John Askey, something that he'll be very aware of.
Yeah.
He'll now be saying the challenge will go and finish this game off, as Swindon put in a cross from the left, and that goes out for a goal kick. But yeah, he'll certainly want his team to have learnt from Boxing Day, is sort of the point I'm kind of making. Absolutely.
2-0 we all know is a dangerous score. You know, you'd rather be 2-0 up than 2-0 down, of course, but it's a one goal will completely shift. So the first priority is clean sheet. You know, keep a clean sheet, gives confidence to your defenders and your goalkeeper, and it will see the game out.
One Jake Taylor is being sung around Vale Park. Vale in control, in the box seat for victory here. 2-0 up against the league leaders Swindon. What a result this would be. Terrific result for Port Vale to end 2019 on, and to go into 2020 in. Having beaten the league leaders. We've still got a bit of work to do though. 9 minutes gone of the second half. Jake Taylor in the 52nd minute to make it 2-0. They've got to defend a free kick here. It's just 7 or 8 yards inside the Vale half on the right. Vale fans enjoying their afternoon. They've given up the Sunday roasts, Robin van der Laan, to watch their team hopefully beat Swindon.
Yeah, at the moment the football is definitely warming the fans here, so that's all good.
Tom Pope on the chest, sticks out his long right leg to try and get in between 2 Swindon players, and does well, charges down Swindon to win a throw in right in front of the Swindon dugout.
Yeah, good centre forward play that, absolutely. You know, get a bit of breathing space for his teammates, get set from the throw in, and we go again.
Throw in taken, cleared by Swindon, picked up by Woolery, then Woolery tries to twist his way out of trouble. He does well there actually. It wasn't pretty, but managed to get the ball away. And Swindon have it inside their own half, but you can see the press from the Vale, and Swindon try and knock the ball around inside their own half. And Swindon top of the table on 46 points. Crewe third at the moment, 41. So the win for Vale, if they can go out and get 3 points today, would certainly do Crewe a little bit of a favour as well elsewhere. Doncaster 1, Swindon 2, Wimbledon 1, Oxford 2. Latest scores in League One. As Swindon win a throw over on the far side. Port Vale have lost 5 of the last 7 league games against Swindon on home soil, losing each of the last 2 without scoring, while they're looking to change that statistic this afternoon. And Swindon take the throw. Central position inside the Vale half. Back to the halfway line it goes now, inside the centre circle. Hunt, the left back, who came on for the injured Ndalo, being forced back by David Amu and fouled by David Amu. Free kick. Colchester United 2, Exeter 1. So that's a big scoreline as well at the top end of the table. The top 2 trailing. Is Yates. Back it goes to Zakuani. Vale continue to press and put pressure on. and force the ball all the way back to the Swindon goalkeeper, and that's exactly what you want to be seeing. John Askey on the edge of his technical area would be delighted to see that effort.
Oh, absolutely, that's good organisation, closing spaces down and good press. That's excellent from the Vale. It's a long time to go though, that's that energy level.
Here's Zakuani midway inside the Swindon half, back to Leiden, in towards the centre circle to Yates. Doherty, long ball high, looking for the run of Yates again. Across steps, Leon Legg just to put it out. The right leg of Leon Legg puts it for a throw in for Swindon, midway inside the Vale half. Accrington Stanley 2, Burton Albion 0. Oldham have got a goal back, Oldham 1, Salford City 4. Throw in now delivered to Jerry Yates. It comes off his knee and out for a Vale throw in. So we have played 12 minutes on BBC Radio Stoke of this second half, and we have seen a goal as well from Jake Taylor, 52nd minute. 2-0 Vale lead on BBC Radio Stoke. Swindon looking to try and get back in the game somehow. Here's Anderson on the edge of the penalty area. Saw a side at goal, got a bit carried away, snapped at his shot and ballooned it over the crossbar, but did well in the first instance to create a little bit of space for himself, but the ball bounced up and he couldn't quite direct it and keep it under control. It's a goal kick. Yeah,
it was really sharp play. I think John Askey has sort of looked at him as being a danger man, because Luke Joyce is sticking to him like glue. He's not doing that much of a screening job. He's just following Anderson around, making sure he doesn't get on the ball. So it's a bit of a man marking job there from Luke Joyce, and he's doing a good job at it.
Yeah, very lively, that Keshi Anderson, isn't he? Certainly a skillful player, but on occasion, unfortunately for the Vale, couldn't execute his shot from the edge of the penalty area that well, and it ended up in a goal kick. But Swindon have got it back now inside their own half with Caddis, the right back, forward to Yates, back into the Swindon half it goes to Grant, and Doherty, he's got support from Hunt on this near side, uses him. He's closed down by a move, still inside the Swindon half here. And we've played 14 minutes of the second half now, and Vale lead by 2-0. Don't forget praise and grumble on the full-time whistle, 0800 121 80 80. As Swindon continue to have possession, but inside their own half. Zakuani to Woolery, now crossing the halfway line to Yates, just tried to push past Legg, but Legg and Gibbons combine and get it clear, but Zakuani shows too much of the ball to Pope, who's released a move down the right, now shows too much of the ball to the byline, gets the cross in, but the goalkeeper gathers. His first touch let him down there because he showed too much of it and he was stretching to try and keep it in play himself.
Yeah, there wasn't anyone up with play anyway. His first touch should have been cut inside and he should have gone for the shot. His touch was poor, and took that real chance away.
And Swindon now come forward, this time with Yates. Owen Doyle hasn't seen a lot of the ball at all, which is a credit to the Vale defence, the top striker for Swindon, but still plenty of time in this game for him to cause some problems. Here's Anderson on the edge of the penalty area, shoots, blocked by Leon Legg, throws himself in front of it. Leon Legg on the edge of the 18-yard box and helps Vale get it clear, but Swindon have it inside the centre circle with Anthony Grant. He drives forward, finds Anderson to Woolery, edge of the penalty area on the left-hand side, tries to find a bit of room on his right foot, moves it onto his left, gets a shot away, blocked by Gibbons and out for a corner. Second corner of the second half for Swindon, their third in total. So Swindon will be hoping that a little bit of this pressure might fall their way with just under half an hour of the game remaining. Vale leading by 2-0 and have to defend a corner here in front of the travelling supporters in the Hamel Road end of the ground. John Askey looking on from the edge of his technical area, has a quick word with Dave Kevin. In comes the corner, not a good one. At the near post it's cleared by Gibbons and then helped along by Amu, picked up by Burgess, and he's got Worrell on the run if he can find him down the centre. Still with Burgess, he's pushed past Anthony Grant, he fancies himself in a foot race. Stretches, he does, and Swindon get...
Yeah, looked a good tackle to me, well timed. I think rather than going for it himself, he should have just held the play up. He had good support there to play players in.
Ball over the top, flag stays down. Yates crosses it into the penalty area for Doyle. Oh, well, that was excellently read by Scott Brown, who came out and smothered it. But a poor cross, you have to say, from Yates, who really, if he'd have found Doyle, it would have been a tap in and Swindon would have come alive at 2-1. But 2-0 it stays. The game really has just livened up in the last 60 seconds or so.
Yeah, good end-to-end football, chance on both ends. Just lacking that little bit of quality in the final third.
More goals, you'd have to say, in this game as Burgess just clips the ankles of Zakuani and wins a free kick. I'm not sure why the Vale fans are moaning at that, because I don't think Burgess was going to get on the end of it anyway, so it would have been a goal kick, but to me that was a free kick.
Yeah, just clipped his heels when they crossed over. Not intentional, but still took him down.
Yeah. Rotherham 2, Peterborough 0. And I don't know what. Has this goalkeeper got his boots on the right foot? Because that was an awful free kick, straight out of play, over the dugouts and out for a Vale throw. But his manager won't be happy with that at all.
It's in the stands. He didn't even clear the halfway line. It was ridiculous.
I think he got distracted with Robbie Williams up above us. I think he was too busy looking at him and forgot what he was doing. Throw in for Vale. Gibbons to take. Pope heads it in field. Is that a free kick?
No, I don't think so. I just think the opposite winger should be much closer.
Worrell back into the penalty area for Pope, who's stretching with Hunt. Pope gets there ahead of him but can't direct the header towards goal, and it's goal kick, and the ripple of applause goes around Vale Park for Tom Pope's effort. Goal kick taken quickly to Zakuani on the edge of the penalty area. 18 minutes gone of this second half on BBC Radio Stoke. Those purple-orange skies have now gone to more grey-purple. Above us in the mother town, here's Yates into the centre circle to Anderson, to Zakuani. Doty forward first time, looking to try and get him behind leg. And you've seen the run of Doyle. Leg stretches out, does well, good defending from the centre half. Gets it clear up and over in towards the Swindon half. Zakuani then plays it back to the goalkeeper, and I thought he might have just undercooked his back pass, and Pope was lurking, but just enough on it for the goalkeeper to get it clear. Birmingham 2, Leeds 3, Fleetwood 1, Bristol Rovers 0. Swindon in possession inside the centre circle. Yates turns, Smith steps across him, goes down, Yates holds on to it, and then Doherty gives it away, wins it back, and unfairly must have been holding on to Burgess as he made that missed kick. Vale have won a free kick and an opportunity just to kill a little few seconds here, just to take a little bit of the sting out of the game, because Swindon trying to get things moving quickly, trailing by 2-0, and Vale will manage this game quite correctly here with Luke Joyce stood over the ball. 2-0, Scott Brown coming out of the edge of his penalty area. Will he fancy this one? I think he might. But as you said, it's a precarious scoreline, 2-0, isn't it? It's always quite a nervy one. Even though Vale have looked comfortable, you can never be completely sure at 2-0.
No, that's it. You know, something can drop. I mean, they've got very capable players in their team, and they could create something from nothing.
Lloyd Isgrove is going to come on here for Michael Doherty, who's coming off. And it almost looks a little bit like Pirlo.
He does, absolutely, yeah.
The Italian midfielder, the beard, the long brown hair, the headband. Doherty off, and it is Lloyd Isgrove, the number 7, that is coming on. So third and finals change for Swindon, with 25 minutes on the watch to go. And Vale leading by 2-0. Burgess in the 13th minute, Taylor in the 52nd minute. 2 very good strikes, 2 of the best goals you may see there with Vale Park this season. Vale on the attack here with Pope, keeps it in, finds Montano, edge of the penalty area, tries to feed it through a Swindon defence that get it clear up to the halfway line. Joyce intercepts, finds Montano again, plays it forward quickly to Pope, out to the left to Worrell. Pope needs to get in the penalty area here though. Worrell to the byline, tries to get a cross in, good defending that by Caddis. Flag stays down, doesn't go out of play, and Swindon move through the pitch and have it on the edge of the centre circle. Win a free kick, they take it quickly. One of those where the player...
Bizarre moment.
It was, wasn't it? The player picked the ball up himself and said, I got fouled there. The referee went, all right, okay, so you did. Blew the whistle, and they took the free kick before even the whistle was blown. I don't think I've ever seen that happen. But here come Swindon down their left. Woolery with a cross in towards the 6-yard box, headed away by Joyce, picked up by Anderson, watched by Burgess. Substitute Lydon out to Woolery on the left again, coming in field into a central position, finds Anderson. He's got 2 around him, does well, turns out to the right to Isgrove, who's just come on. He puts in a deep cross and kept in as well, done well there. There's Hunt finds Doyle, who puts in a cross and wins a corner. So 3rd corner of the second half for Swindon. Well, they have to say their set pieces haven't been terribly good. Let's hope I just haven't cursed that there by saying that. Lincoln 3, Ipswich 2. Latest scores, we watched Swindon deliver this corner. The referee just blows his whistle to say, hang on, not quite ready for you yet. Not quite sure what he's seen there, whether the ball wasn't quite in the quadrant or not. The referee being particularly fussy as we will watch this corner come in again. The referee Scott Oldham being very picky with the ball now, still kind of out the quadrant, but he's not that too bothered on this occasion, as in comes a high ball towards the back post. Sakiwani heads it, but it comes off the top of his head and out for a goal kick. Poor corner again. You see that one coming, can't you?
Yeah,
mile off. You've got time to sort of tie your laces up when that comes in.
Yeah, there was snow on that cross, wasn't it? You know,
easy defending for that one for the Vale. Forest Green Rovers have taken the lead against Macclesfield. 1-0 they lead. Macclesfield, the visitors here on New Year's Day. You can hear that match live on BBC Radio Stoke Sport. As Scott Brown takes the goal kick. High ball from him. Over the head of Worrell on the far side and straight out for a Swindon throw. You can see the difference in the two sides. Vale quite happy to run the clock down when they have throws and set pieces. Swindon, a matter of urgency for them, trailing by 2-0. Looked like a push there on the back of Montana. The referee allowed play to continue. His leg clears down the centre. Hunt will head it forward. Taylor will put a bit of pressure here on, and no foul, and I don't think it was either, as he finds Pope on the edge of the penalty. Pope with a shot! Oh, and his left foot half volley goes wide. He saw the goalkeeper coming, and he was starting to advance the goalkeeper, and Tom Pope on his left foot, 18 yards out, just drags his shot wide, and 3-0. Well, that would have been game, set and match. Yeah, that was a good move. Nice little run from Popey as well, found well, and just dragged his shot a little bit. Nice play as well by Jake Taylor, putting the pressure on the Swindon midfield. The referee was right as well not to call a free kick on that instance. Woolery has it on his chest, plays it in field though, blocked by Gibbons. Now Amu picks it up. Amu looks forward, plays the ball down the centre. Not happy with that, Robin? None at all. Popey in between 3, plays a diagonal. You know, he's got to pick his game up a bit, Amu here. You know, he's been a bit lethargic, a little bit slow to the ball, and then picked the wrong passes, which is a shame. We need a lot more from him. Swindon have got a corner throw. He's gone for a throw on the far side. I was about to say, I think David Amu's had a quiet game so far, and when I said that about Jake Taylor, he went and scored. So let's hope that we've put past that little blessing onto David Amu. Cross coming in from Swindon on the far side, and it's blocked. It's gone out for a Swindon corner, but then maybe he's also got Reece Brown available to him. John Askey on the bench today, so David Amu has got to book his ideas up, because Reece Brown has been playing well when he's had his chance, and he's just, I think, is he coming up for a walk? Can't quite see who that was. He just went away there down the touchline. But corner for Swindon. So Vale have got to keep an eye on this one here. Huddersfield 2, Blackburn Rovers 1. And Swindon take a short corner this time, probably best with the deliveries that they've had so far. Into the 6-yard box, Brown comes and punches. Players have stayed down, and the referee points for another Swindon corner. So 5th corner of the second half. Better one that was, you have to say, by Swindon.
It was, yeah. Keeper did well though, to control the situation, got it out of harm's way.
He did. Scott Brown commanding that 6-yard box, getting his glove, his right glove onto it. And the referee's assistant on the far side just stopping this corner from being taken for a moment. And now that the referee says it's okay for that to come in, it's going to be a short one again by Swindon. And it comes towards the near post, headed down by Doyle and saved by Brown at his near post.
It looked like he caught it between his legs.
He did, didn't he?
Sat down on his knees and caught it between his legs. I think they've got to stop the cross, haven't they, from the short one. They're not getting out there and getting in people's faces. They need to stop the cross a lot earlier.
Brown again, right place, right time at his near post, stopping that header from Doyle going in, and then launching long down the centre of the pitch, and the ball running through Steve Bender in the Swindon goal, who bowls it out overarm right-handed to Hunt, the left back, who plays it in field now to Zakuani. Vale leading by 2-0. Good value for it as well here this afternoon. Zakuani has the ball back again against the league leaders Swindon. Let's not forget here, Swindon have been in great form, unbeaten in the last 4 away league games, scoring 2 or more goals in each of those matches. That's a pretty good report on the Vale today, to show you just how well they've defended against a team that score a lot of goals and are top of the table. I think if you just landed from the moon and were to watch these games, you probably would think Vale were the league leaders out the two, wouldn't you, if you were asked the question? Yeah,
I think they're very evenly matched. Obviously, the Vale have scored a couple of goals, but I think it's a very, very even game. Besides the scoreline, you wouldn't tell that they were the league leaders.
No.
I think tactically they've set up really well as well. I think John Askey's done a great job, because Anderson has been trying to get the ball. He's all over the place. He's dropping really deep now to try and just to get on the ball there now. He's nearly the deepest man. You know, so they stopped him from playing, which is great.
Mark Cullen is going to come on for the Vale shortly. He's stripped off, waiting to go inside the technical area. Luke Joyce puts in a sliding challenge, but doesn't get hold of the ball. And well, it was the substitute Isgrove who went racing through, and his final delivery was pretty poor, and Vale managed to get it clear. Anthony Grant this time for Swindon, getting Swindon moving. Doyle with a shot on the edge of the penalty area, blocked. Over on the far side does nice little bit of skill to keep possession and then win a throw in as well, and that will probably indicate the substitution, and it's going to be Tom Pope that comes off. To a standing ovation as well for the Port Vale captain Tom Pope, who applauds all 4 corners of the ground as he makes his way across the centre circle. And Cullen will come on. Mark Cullen, he knows where the back of the net is. He scored 5 this season, but offers just something a little different to Tom Pope. Tom Pope obviously with that physical presence against a makeshift defence here for Swindon, but Mark Cullen plays more off the shoulder. He's more of a predator, a box in the box type striker. Yeah, especially when you're talking about counter-attacking now. Tom Pope's a little bit isolated up there, obviously not the most mobile anymore. He's given everything he's got, like he always does. You know, fantastic hold-up play when needed, but fresh legs up there. Crew 2, Scunthorpe 1. Lee Novak has got a goal back for Scunthorpe. Crew 2, Scunthorpe 1. As Cullen is on, and Swindon in possession. David Amu pressing the fullback here, and the fullback's got nowhere to go, and well, he was a little lucky there. It came off David Amu and out for a Swindon throw on this near side level, the edge of the Swindon penalty area. Colchester 2, Exeter 2, Lincoln 4, Ipswich 2. Move from the throw, heads it in field. Taylor heads it down, cleared by Gibbons, and this will bounce straight through to Stephen Bender in the Swindon goal, who rolls it out underarm to Grant. Cullen will go to close down. 15 minutes to go. Vale leading by 2-0. A third would seal it for the Vale. A goal for Swindon here would just make it a very edgy last 15. John Askey looking on from the edge of his technical area. Zakuani strokes it out to the left, still inside the Swindon half for Hunt, who delivers a high ball down the centre. Leon Legg with a good towering header away, picked up by Burgess. Burgess, who scored in the 13th minute, and Amu's got away from his man, but Zakuani slides in to put it out for a throw. Amu appeals that he was being held onto. Yeah, absolutely. He knew he had the beating of him. He grabbed hold of Amu, and the referee or the linesman is there 10 yards away and never put his flag up. Robin van der Laan with you on BBC Radio Stoke this afternoon. Daniel Powell has just extended Crew's lead. Crew 3, Scunthorpe 1. Powell again with a goal in that game. 2 for him, 1 for Green, 3 for Crew. Here is Burgess by the corner flag, looking to try and find a way out, and he's done well. He's found Gibbons on the angle of the penalty. He puts it across towards the back post. Worrell with a header back towards the 6-yard box, cleared away by Anthony Grant. One back by Montano on the edge of the penalty area though. To Worrell, tries to feed it through. Grant stretches, get control of the ball now, races forward, trapped by a move. Picks out Anderson. Anderson first time ball out to the left to Yates. Yates coming in now on the left, trying to get the shot onto his right foot, but picks out Woolery. He can't find a route through as Legg and Joyce combine to get it clear. Good defending by Port Vale up towards the halfway line. Swindon give it away to Smith. Smith continuing his run. You don't see this from a centre half very often, but he's continued, and he's got himself in a bit of a tight spot and put it out for a throw into Swindon. But we've got 32 minutes of this second half on the clock. Vale leading by 2-0. I have to say at this moment, without wanting to put the commentator's curse on it, Vale are looking comfortable. Yeah,
they're looking fairly comfortable at this moment in time. They stop in their midfield three to getting the ball, well organised that way, and they're looking very good at the moment.
Grant just pops the ball up in the air rather than along the ground for Zakuani. So a comfortable pass, but fortunately there was no Vale players around, so Zakuani had time to bring that ball under control. As Zakuani now has the ball back at his feet. Lydon back to Zakuani, and this is credit to Port Vale, because Swindon, league leaders, 2-0 down, can't find a way out of their own half here.
No, you could see left back looking up, trying to look for a pass, throwing his hands up in the air, have to go backwards because there's no options there.
They've been patient though. They've worked away towards the edge of the penalty area. They've delivered a cross. Leon Legg gets the header away. Anthony Grant intercepts, but only as far as Cullen. Worrell's made a run. Worrell gets the ball. Good ball from Cullen. Now, what can David Worrell do here? He's in towards the penalty area. Can he find the pass? It's gone through 3 or 4 players, and in the end to a red shirt, and Swindon get it away. Well, how that did not end up to a Vale player, I don't know, because there must have been about 3 or 4 legs that swung at it, all of them missing it.
Yeah,
you're chuckling away there, Robbie.
The 3 defenders had it all go through their legs, and it's still not ended up with a Port Vale player to tap it in. But what a marvellous break, and it's something that they have to continue doing.
There's a Swindon player down on the far side.
This is always the issue when you put your third sub on with 25 minutes to go. You're taking real risks here, and he doesn't look too clever at the moment.
And I think it's the man who's been the more dangerous of the Swindon players, Casey Anderson, who's had to hobble off, whether he's had a
groin strain or something, or a hamstring.
He's going straight down onto the floor again, and they have used all their subs, have Swindon. So there is 11 minutes to go. Swindon down to 10 men. Vale 2-0 up, and in the final game of 2019, couldn't really end any better, could it? Beating the league leaders, hopefully with a clean sheet as well. And there's Woolery, his pass back to Hunt, intercepted by Amu. It goes out for a Swindon throw, taken by Hunt back to the goalkeeper. They've got Macclesfield here on New Year's Day, then they go to Manchester City in the FA Cup third round. 8,000 Vale supporters going to watch that one at the Etihad Stadium. I mean, that one will just be a great day out for the football club, won't it, in the FA Cup, Robin?
Absolutely, yeah. There's 7,500, 8,000 going down.
Amu moving in towards the edge of the penalty area, back to Gibbons, infield to Burgess. Is he going to fancy one from here? He does. It's into the by-car stand. But yeah, certainly if they can win today and then New Year's Day beat Macclesfield, they can go to the Etihad against Manchester City really with free licence just to go there and enjoy it, because they're not going to be fancied at all to go there and get a result. It's just an occasion for the football club, that one, I think.
Yeah, absolutely, and you're going there with a good feeling if you can get 4 or 6 points on the board out of these 2 games, and then go there. They've got free licence to go there and enjoy the occasion anyway. Hopefully they'll have 1 or 2 players that are coming in because they need game time, and they can go and enjoy it.
Anderson's coming back on. I don't know whether he would want to or not under other circumstances, because he's not comfortable, is he, as he runs back onto the field. So they're back to 11, and Montano's just done an amazing little dribble. He's beaten about a 4th man but couldn't escape the fifth, which was Zakawani on the edge of the penalty area, and the linesman is indicating a throw-in on this side. But for a moment there, I thought we were going to see sort of Christian Montano become Lionel Messi from inside his own half.
Yeah, every time he went past one, he overran it a bit more and a bit more and a bit more, and then he ended up on the fifth man. I think he just overrun it a little bit too much. I
think he just couldn't quite believe it, could he? Oh, there's one. Oh, there's another one. Oh, there's a third. But certainly the crowd enjoyed that one anyway. We've got a crescent moon and a lone star just above the railway paddock. As night falls around us and the ball is cleared for a Swindon throw, level with the edge of the Vale penalty area on the left.
So Anderson has stayed on, but he's hobbling around. He just put him up front. They're just standing there as an extra red shirt up there, really. So effectively with 10 men, let's hope nothing drops her in the box where he can have a swing at it.
Well, it's going to be Woolery to take this throw in on this near side. John Askey will be delighted with a win here if they can hold out for another 8 minutes, as Leon Legg heads the throw away. Back to Woolery though it is, so he's got another chance here to put the ball into the penalty area. Holds on to the ball, he's got some support on this near side from Leiden. Still got it here, Woolery. He's dancing around in possession of the football. Moves it out to the right, ball clipped in into a crowded 18-yard box. The Swindon fans go up as they appeal for a penalty as a player goes down. The referee shakes his head, but as the ball is cleared, there is a foul on Caddis and a free kick to Swindon, about 15 yards inside the Vale half, which they've taken quickly. Caddis on the far side delivers a cross towards the back post. Gibbons was underneath it, but I don't know if he got anything on it. And did he miss it? Did he get? No, he must have got a header on it, because it's a corner to Swindon on the Swindon left. So the 6th corner of the second half to the league leaders, who trail by 2 goals to nil on BBC Radio Stoke. Yates now. It's not Yates, it's Leiden. Leiden up against Gibbons in between touchline and penalty area, and then almost tricks himself, but Gibbons doesn't clear and deal with it effectively, and Cullen does in the end, and it's a throw in to Swindon.
Yeah, poor decision that by Gibbons. You know, that could just turn the game. Little mistakes like that.
Newport 1, Leyton Orient 1. 2-0 to Port Vale. Crewe 3, Scunthorpe 1, Fulham 1, Stoke City 0. Long throw from Swindon, headed away by Vale. Now what can Cullen do here? He's won his own header, but there's 4 on 2 here. Cullen, what were you doing there? You've got away with it though, but the referee stopped play because of a head injury, and he has to do that. I don't know why the Vale supporters are getting up in arms, because the player down on the ground looks flat out, doesn't he?
Yeah, he looks knocked out. The Vale had 4 on 2.
They did have 4 on 2, and I think Cullen, had the player not been pulled back, I think Cullen could find himself very lucky, because the initial through ball was poor, but it sort of ricocheted and still fell kindly for Port Vale. But doesn't really matter, because the referee stopped play for a head injury. And the player is now up on his feet. It's Caddis who is up. He got a whack. Well, he's now running over to the far side of the field, so he can't have been stark cold, could he? Because he looked like he was when he just didn't move at all. So maybe he was trying to buy the referee.
Yeah, it is conning the referee a little bit, isn't it?
But the referee's got to. The referee can only referee what he thinks has happened, can't he?
Absolutely.
Which is a shame, really.
And it's Port Vale's ball.
Less than 5 to go. Plus time added on. And Caddis will come back on. And if he has, which looked like he was sort of calling the referee a little bit there, then Vale fans got every right to have a moan at him as he comes back on the field. Here's a move in the penalty area, tried to cut it across the 6-yard box to Cullen. Not a good cross at all. That should have been game sealed for Port Vale, but not a good ball from David Amu, Robin van der Laan.
No, really poor decision. He picked out the red shirt when he had two ready for a pullback. You know, it's a poor decision. That could have been game over.
Vale fans sense a victory. Crossing from Gibbons, cleared by Zakawani, picked up by Smith on the halfway line. Back out to Gibbons, who chips the ball forward looking for Cullen. Cullen heads it, chests it down. Oh, the referee says handball. It was kind of close to his shoulder. The referee's assistant right in front of him. I'm not sure that was handball. I think that was sort of top chest shoulder area.
Yeah, it was definitely a VAR moment, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Very, very small margins again.
3.5 to go. Ball played forward by Zakuani. Straight out of play for a throw in. Birmingham City 4, Leeds United 4. And that's into added time, that one. We'll let you know when we get confirmation of full-time whistles in our other featured games. Fulham 1, Stoke 0. And Crew 3, Scunthorpe 1. Here Vale lead by 2-0 with 3 minutes remaining. Vale win a throw-in. It all seems to be going their way. Barring a catastrophe here, you have to say Vale have got a very well-earned 3 points against the league leaders. Gibbons with the throw. Is that even?
No, not gone out.
Bizarre throw. We've seen 1 or 2 bizarre incidents in this game.
That's how you waste the time, isn't it?
Yeah, just chuck it out. Has the referee added on or not? I don't know. The referee's going across them. Yeah, he's acknowledged that. Gibbons will take another throw. This time it loops high, and Moo flicks it on. Cullen comes to try and bring it under control, but can't. But then the ball breaks for a Moo. Back to the halfway line to Gibbons. First time ball forward down the centre of it, and turns back towards his goalkeeper, but then does a 360-degree turn and starts to head forward. To Hunt now on the left. He drills it forward. That should be Leon Leggs, and it is. He brings it under control. Hips a high ball. Anywhere will sort of do in these sort of moments as Grant climbs over.
Oh, is that another foul?
Cullen, referee shaking his head. Brought to the floor by Anthony Grant, but no free kick. What's West Brom 0, Middlesbrough 2? That would be a big goal, well, a big scoreline for Middlesbrough down at the bottom of the table, and West Brom here at the top end of the table. Plymouth 2, Stevenage 1, Rotherham 4, Peterborough United 0. 90 seconds remaining of the 90 here as the ball goes straight out of play for a Vale throw over on the far side. So John Askey and Dave Kevin inside the technical area, to me, are going to be celebrating 3 points here, because Vale have just got everything right today. They defended well, they've worked hard, they've taken their chances. 2 terrific goals as well, Robin van der Laan.
Yeah, absolutely. It looks like the sting's gone out of it. I think they've lost belief now, Swindon, especially with Anderson limping around. They're playing effectively with 10, 2-0 down, and I think this one is done.
Christian Montano just been announced man of the match. The left back certainly had a very good first half, didn't he, Christian Montano? Scott Burgess would have been challenging him for that honour, I would have thought, this afternoon with his first half goal. He's had an good all-round performance as well, the midfielder. As the ball bounces over his head and he takes a little stumble as he tries to recover. There goes Woolery towards the byline, watched by Gibbons though. Gibbons with his hands on Woolery's back, got to be careful there. Woolery wins the throw in 10 yards from the corner flag. We've got 30 seconds of the 90 remaining plus time added on for stoppages. Woolery can't take the throw quickly, so then holds on to it. Now does find a teammate, and that was Owen Doyle, whose run of goals has ended. I think as well as not only winning the game and the 2 great goals, John Askey's going to be delighted with the clean sheet, isn't he? If they get it.
Yeah, it's a bit of time yet. You know, a long throw to defend first.
2 minutes of time added on, and we're into that. And Legg heads it back out to Woolery, who puts in the cross. It's come off a Moo and gone out for a 7th corner of this second half to Swindon. Yeah, don't want to put the mockers on Vale yet, but they have got a couple of minutes to defend to get that clean sheet. Vale fans getting behind their team in these last couple of minutes. Birmingham 4, Leeds 5. Goal in 5th minute of time added on for Leeds. In comes the cross for Swindon. Body's thrown at it here, and Burgess gets it clear up towards the halfway line. David Worrell chasing it down. Anthony Grant back to his goalkeeper, who's come out of his penalty area. He's over on the right-hand angle as he clears long down the centre. Applause for David Worrell, who charged down and never gave up and put pressure on Swindon and had to make them work for the clearance. Referee waves play on as Vale come forward with it, with Taylor. And Moo is in offside position,
Both
as is
offside,
Cullen.
yeah. Both offside.
So couldn't release the ball. But Vale just running the clock down here, and rightly so. We're into the last 50 seconds of time added on. Montano looking for a move. Swindon have it with Grant. Grant can't get forward because of Christian Montano's tenacity and just determination to stop him from going forward. Swindon play it forward now up to Isgrove. Isgrove down on the edge of the centre circle inside the Vale half. 20 seconds to go. Free kick taken quickly. Well, on course for a terrific win here this afternoon on BBC Radio Stoke. Matt Sandals, Robin van der Laan, your commentary team this afternoon as Swindon look to get the ball into the box and they can't. It's blocked. And Moo, will he pick it up? No. By my watch, that is it. The 2 minutes of time added on are over. Swindon with a crossfield ball put out by Gibbons. And the referee looks at his watch and there goes the full-time whistle. What a performance to end 29